We're going to turn now to an accident at a brand new water park and was caught on camera.
Just 90 minutes after this park opened, a boy was tossed off this water slide and onto the concrete right there. ABC's Marcy Gonzalez joins us from our LA bureau with more on the scary details and an update on that boy's condition. Good morning, Marcy.
Good morning, Paula and Dan. Incredibly, that boy was able to walk away from this. He was checked out by doctors and is back at home this morning after what was no doubt the scare of his life. Terrifying moments on opening day of this water park in California. Watch as this 10-year-old boy plunges down this slide before he tumbles off onto the concrete. The open-air 3-story slide called the Emerald Plunge is part of the Bay Area's brand new $43 million water park called The Wave. The attraction featuring 2 tracks with 80-degree drops.
I would be worried about those 2 slides because they are really steep.
Here you see the boy shooting down the green slide, and as he gets near the bottom, he flies up over the edge and rolls onto the ground. Park operators rush to help the boy.
He seemed to be shook, but seemed to be okay, came right up, and immediately went into the first aid room and was assessed by staff.
The child suffered some bad scrapes and was briefly treated at a nearby hospital before being released. This latest slide incident comes on the heels of a $20 million settlement awarded to the family of 10-year-old Caleb Schwab. Schwab was killed after going down the world's tallest water slide at a Kansas water park last summer.
It's an accident, but there's an accounting because someone was negligent.
And here in California, operators of that city-owned water park say the Emerald Plunge went through extensive testing and was properly permitted. But this morning, those slides are closed as officials look into how to keep a scare like this from happening again. Dan and Paula.
Wow, scare is an understatement. It's hard to believe that boy just walked away and is okay now. Thanks, Marcy, for that reporting.
Cal OSHA is now examining whether 2 new water slides in Dublin are safe following yesterday's mishap. KPIX5's Wilson Walker has the latest on this developing story at the multi-million-dollar park called The Wave.
As an observer, you could see was when he came into what we refer to as the run-out area, he seemed to get a little bit of on top of the water, and he ended up sort of sliding across the edge for a bit, and then he was definitely shaken by that experience.
Shaken and a little scratched up, but that boy walked away from his wild ride down the Emerald Plunge, what you might call the dramatic centerpiece in Dublin's new $43 million water park.
Considered what we would call the thrill slides, have the largest drop.
And today those 2 slides remained closed as state investigators took a closer look at things, specifically the landing area where the boy hit that thrust of water and went shooting back into the air.
The manufacturer of the slides themselves will be on site tomorrow.
And that is what is so puzzling about this, right? The only thing unique about the Emerald Plunge is probably its name. In fact, you can find this exact same piece of equipment in water parks all over the world.
Yeah, this is not a custom slide made for the city of Dublin. This is a slide that's sort of an off-the-shelf slide.
As you might expect, everyone here today knew exactly what happened on day 1.
Because someone fell off it.
Which meant a lot of this on day 2.
I was a little bit disappointed that we couldn't go on it today, but they have a couple other slides open.
Yeah, a little disappointed.
Stuff happens.
Now, parents, being parents, looked at the bright side of that.
Well, I figured a lot of people might be scared off by it and not come today.
And kids, of course, will be kids. If it were open today, would you do it?
Yeah. Yeah, I'd probably go for it.
But that will have to wait as Dublin tries to figure out how an off-the-shelf slide sent a child off the rails almost as soon as this park opened.
And until we can, resolve what occurred, these slides will remain closed.
In Dublin, Wilson Walker, KPIX5.
Today, the park closed a 3rd slide called the Riptide Rider so that staff can look at whether it has the correct water pressure. 3 other slides are still open for public use.